Welcome back. Coming to you today from my rocking chair instead of my desk. I'll try real hard to be still because when I'm in this rocking chair, I have a tendency to rock and it kind of wiggles the video. So I'll try to be still. We'll see how I do. Today we have a word, a couple of historical figures, a surprisingly early banishment of an unfavorable practice. We have a piece about military conscription, a song and a quote. So grab your favorite cuppa, settle in, and let's have a look. Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for May 18th. May 18th is the 138th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 139th in leap years, with 227 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is theophoric. Theophoric is an adjective that means derived from or bearing the name of a god. So a theophoric name is a name that contains the name of a god or deity within it. The word theophoric is derived from Greek theos, which means God, and phoros, which means bearing or carrying. So the word theophoric literally means bearing a god. Such names were quite common in the ancient world because parents often named children in honor of a deity, hoping for protection, blessing, or favor. For example, the name Tutankhamun contains the name of the god Amun, A-M-U-N. Ramses means born of Ra, the sun god. Many biblical names are theophoric and contain references to God, like Daniel, which means God is my judge, or Michael, which means who is like God, and the name Elizabeth, composed of elements which mean God is my oath. The names Theodore and Dorothea both mean gift of God, and I'm personally acquainted with one each, Elizabeth and Dorothea, and both of those lovely women definitely fit their names. Theophoric names are not limited to persons. You might see places, titles, or dynasties with names that invoke a deity. For example, changes in Egyptian royal names sometimes reflected which deity was dominant during a particular era. Theophoric names can help historians identify which gods were popular in a culture, religious shifts over time, and even political loyalties. You're more likely to see the word theophoric in linguistics or religious studies, but it's a pretty interesting concept to be aware of, whether you're a scholar of that type or not. First known use of the word theophoric is in the 1890s. Theophoric. Today's word theophoric was requested by YouTube viewer at T. Ramsire. Thanks, Teresa. And if you have a word you're curious about, drop it in the comments and we'll get it on the list. And with that, in Roman and Byzantine history, there have been 11 officially numbered emperors named Constantine, 1 through 11. Historians and numismatists estimate that there were actually 14 to 22 individuals who held the title at some point, including co-emperors, usurpers, and children. But we're going to talk for a moment about the first one, Constantine I, also known as Constantine the Great. He was the first Roman emperor to convert to Christianity. He decided he wanted to move the capital of the Roman Empire from Rome to Constantinople. One of the things Rome did was a state-sponsored distribution of grain, free or subsidized to many citizens. Roman emperors had used these distributions for centuries to maintain public order, reduce unrest, and gain political loyalty. So, as Constantine was setting up shop in Constantinople, he decided this would be a good thing to do there and imported this system to the new capital, Constantinople. He did so for several reasons. Constantinople was strategically located, but a little thin on population. If he was offering free food, grain, and other benefits, this would encourage people such as merchants, craftsmen, bureaucrats, and even aristocrats to come to Constantinople. So One reason was to attract people to the new capital. Food distributions would also create goodwill toward the emperor. Hungry cities were dangerous ones, so keeping the population fed was pretty important. He instituted this plan to secure political loyalty. Also, this had been done in Rome, as I mentioned, for centuries. Constantine wanted Constantinople to be seen as a new Rome, which would mean reproducing many Roman institutions and traditions. The grain dole symbolized imperial prestige and legitimacy, helped stabilize the economy and urban life, and reinforced imperial authority. And so it is that Emperor Constantine the Great announced free distribution of food to the citizens of Constantinople on May 18th in the year 322. Interesting to note that Constantinople's grain supply system became one of the most important state-supported food networks in the Byzantine world and continued long after Constantine's reign. Omar Khayyám was one of the great intellectual figures of the medieval Persian world, mathematician, astronomer, philosopher, and poet, whose influence stretched far beyond his own era. Born in Nishapur in what is now Iran, he lived during the Seljuk Empire and became renowned for both his scientific brilliance and his deeply reflective poetry. Although many people in the English-speaking world know him mainly for his poetry, he was actually celebrated in his own lifetime more for mathematics and astronomy than for literature. As a mathematician, he made remarkable advances in algebra. He developed methods for solving cubic equations using geometry, specifically by intersecting conic sections like circles and parabolas centuries before similar ideas appeared in Europe. He also wrote commentaries on Euclid and explored problems related to parallel lines and geometry. One of his greatest achievements came in astronomy and calendar reform. His calendar was astonishingly accurate, even more precise than the later Gregorian calendar in measuring the solar year. Omar Khayyám lived up into his 80s. Slavery was abolished in Rhode Island on May 18, 1652, although the ban was not rigorously enforced. The Selective Service Act of 1917 was passed on May 18, 1917. Under this act, males aged 21 to 30 were required to register to potentially be selected for military service. The following year, the War Department requested the age range be expanded to include all men aged 18 to 45. By the way, in the United States, military conscription, commonly known as the draft, has been used 6 times: during the American Revolutionary War, during the War between the States, commonly referred to as the Civil War, World War I, which is the one we mentioned today, World War II, which happened in the 1940s, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. Conscription still remains in place on a contingency basis. It's my understanding that young men ages 18 to 25 are still required to register with the Selective Service system, even though so far we haven't needed to reactivate the draft. Today's song is Subterranean Homesick Blues by Bob Dylan. Appearing as the first track on Bob's 5th album, Bringing It All Back Home, Subterranean Homesick Blues was released as a single in March of 1965 and the album 2 weeks later. Bob Dylan has started out as an acoustic folk singer, and when he began using electronic instruments, some of his old-school folk fans pitched a ring-tailed fit. Subterranean Homesick Blues happens to be one of his first electric recordings. Hopefully these old-school acoustic fans have gotten over it by now. Subterranean Homesick Blues is ranked in the top half of the Rolling Stones 500 Greatest Songs of All Time list. If you're familiar with the song, you may be aware of the video in which he shows cue cards as the song plays. It's pretty amusing. The music video is from a documentary called Don't Look Back, which came out in 1967 and covered Bob Dylan's 1965 concert tour in England. The song is like a running narrative on a day in the life. My two favorite lines in Subterranean Homesick Blues are, "You don't need a weatherman to know which way the wind blows," and "The pump don't work 'cause the vandals took the handle." Subterranean Homesick Blues by Bob Dylan. Link in the description. How about that? Quite a mix today, isn't it? For today's quote, we have this one. "All I can do is be me, whoever that is." Bob Dylan from a 1965 interview. All righty, y'all take care. Be good to each other. I'll see you next time.